All right, everyone, welcome back into another NBA DFS video. Got this Monday 8-game slate, and it is going to be a fun one, it seems like. We got a couple of games that are high over and unders, some games that are going to be easy to attack as well, so we'll go ahead and get into that. Just a reminder, if you guys enjoyed the coverage, make sure to give a like and subscribe. That helps out the channel a lot. If you guys want access to any of the tools that you see in this video, make sure to click the links in the description below. So starting out, we do have news that LeBron James is going to be out, and then Anthony Davis are going to be out. Okay, that is going to open up a decent amount of value for the Lakers. And so looking at it, we can already see that Russell Westbrook is going to be way too cheap on this slate, just given that injury news. Russell Westbrook per 36 averages around 49 DK points per 36 and 46 Fanduel points. So we can see he's probably going to be a starting point on tonight's slate. Thomas Bryant is someone we can probably look at. He has been a point per minute player thus far this season. You know, should be an easy, safe play. But maybe with Hachimura there now, maybe he's someone that we're looking at as well, which kind of makes the slate a little bit difficult, is what to do with Hachimura, because we're looking at him or Gabriel. But I think that with Hachimura there, we can't expect those minutes that have been going to Gabriel with AD off the court and with LeBron off the court to go to him still. He actually had the second most minutes with LeBron and AD off the court. And then it was Thomas Bryant. Okay. So with that, I kind of think it's going to be Hachimura. And we could go with Dennis. Like, Dennis should be a fine play. We know he has upside to go for 40 DK points. His per 36 with those two off the court is around 33 fantasy points. So yeah, should be a strong play as well, just not as elite of a play. And so on the other side of that game, we have news that Ben Simmons is currently questionable. Okay. This is already a matchup that we probably do want to be attacking the Lakers bigs. And so I think Nick Claxton is going to be firmly in play. He's been on such a tear recently, and you could say that the price hasn't really adjusted for how well he's been playing. Now he gets a great matchup against the Lakers, an even better matchup with, AD not on there. He could be someone that we're looking at as well. So that's where the Lakers injury situation might open up better plays on the other side of the basketball as well. From there, we still know that Christian Wood is out. It is expected that Luka will be back, but we do know that someone like Dort is still out as well. So with Dort out, SGA has a huge usage rate of over 40%. His DK point total per 36 with Alexei, Dort, and James Earl Robinson off the court is 60. And we can see he has been dominating quite a bit recently. So he is someone that we could definitely be looking at. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the top values on this slate. So Tim Hardaway Jr. is actually popping up as a really good value play on FanDuel. I would say we would only roster him in this scenario if Luka is out. Okay, then we can play him, because at that price point, he would be too cheap on FanDuel. If Luka is playing, I would say that's properly priced. Okay, so we wouldn't have to play him. SGA is looking like just a strong play across the board. He is someone that I think we are going to be trying to go out of our way to play. He's just been such a strong play recently. Torrey Craig propping up. He is a good price point play. Nothing too special there, though, I don't think. Russell has just been on a tear as well. I think people are just going to try to continue to roll with a hot hand there. Jaden McDaniels, a decent price point play. Monte Morris, a decent price point play. From there, we're not getting like any insane value. Let's go ahead and look at DraftKings. Okay, so yeah, Dennis is popping up there as a strong DK value. I do think he's someone on DraftKings you're going to have to play. On FanDuel, he's definitely priced up 6.8. They kind of adjusted for the news a lot better than DraftKings had done. Aaron Wiggins still popping up there on DraftKings. Let's pull that up. So Aaron Wiggins is someone that played 30 minutes in the last game. And sure, if he's going to get those minutes again, he would be someone that we would want to look at, especially at 3.4. Honestly, it'd be tough to pass up on him at that price tag. The issue is we don't know exactly where these minutes are going to go. We know it's Giddey and we know it's SGA. And then from there, it's a guessing game. But right now, as it sits, we have Aaron Wiggins projected at around 27 minutes. So that is what makes him an appealing play. And look at that game total, guys, 243. We do want pieces of that game as well. The Thunder Golden State Warriors game, you need pieces of that game. And then for what it's worth as well, we have another game that's in the 240s. That's going to be San Antonio versus Washington. Also a game that we could stack. So we have some appealing games to stack. Continuing on with the strong DK value, Torrey Craig's popping up there, cheaper play, but he's getting low owned, not exactly someone I see as a must play. Daniel Gafford, someone you could play. Okay. And really the only reason why you would play him is because of that matchup with the Spurs. Okay. He's had 30 minutes the last two games. And if that continues as well, this is definitely going to be a cheap price tag. But we got news that Porzingis is most likely going to play tonight. So we don't know how secure those minutes are for Gafford. Okay, if he does get around 30, would be a strong price point play. And given the matchup with the Spurs, it should be. But just know that Porzingis is back. So I don't know if we can expect that upside game as much so, but he still could be a strong like price point play. And SGA popping up there. Isn't that crazy, guys? A guy that's priced this high is popping up that great as a value. It's kind of crazy to me. So let's go ahead and get into the projected ownerships. So on FanDuel, people are starting out today by going with Tim Hardaway Jr., Alex Burks popping up there as well, Thomas Bryant, and we are not seeing ownership for Hachimura. Interesting there. I guess he's about 23. On DraftKings, though, going to be much more chalky, as he should be. He's the highest projected home player on the slate. Russell Westbrook, kind of, I would say, I don't know, is he getting disrespected being the fourth highest? We should be locking in around 40 DK points. And it's kind of the obvious plays are Hachimura, Bryant, and Westbrook. And then Dennis not getting too much ownership right now, 17. And then obviously on FanDuel, he's too high owned, but only 17 on DK. That's pretty surprising. Luka getting some chalk. Jeremy Sochan, like, what do we do with him? The guy has been going off recently and obviously gets that favorable game. Still at a cheap price tag, considering his recent production. I don't want to play him, but it's something that we probably do need to consider tonight. All right, so we kind of get the feel of the slate. Let's go ahead and get into the lineup process. So as we saw, another very appealing game that we're getting is going to be this Washington versus San Antonio game. And it's this finally the game in which Bradley Beal gets back on track. He's been terrible. Maybe, I mean, at 7.2, we could take a shot. I don't know if I really want to, but that is an option. Kyle Kuzma feels way too priced up with Porzingis back. And maybe I don't know. I feel like Porzingis is a little bit priced up as well. Could we be getting 50 DK points at this price tag? Sure. And that would be what we would be hoping for, but he does feel like he's a little bit priced up as well. So with that, it kind of feels like they correctly priced this game. Maybe we try to get some Sochan in there. You know, it's just been highly productive recently, especially given this price tag. I don't want to play him. That doesn't get me excited. Keldon Johnson could easily put up 46 DK points as well, like he did last game against Phoenix, given the high over and under that we have in this game. I don't trust any of the Spurs players, and that's kind of what makes this slate difficult. Maybe you could look at Nunn as a value. As it sits right now, like, he is one of the better plays value-wise, I think, given this game. Like, if he gets 20 minutes, could easily get 20 DK points, but not a play that I love. And the game we want to be trying to target would appear to be this Golden State game. Problem with the Golden State Warriors is that you are really trying to kind of get lucky, really, by choosing, like, which player goes off. Is it going to be Curry? Is it going to be Clay? Is it going to be Poole? Like, you're just kind of trying to get lucky. And now Clay has been much more consistent recently, and he's at a cheaper price tag than really all of them. So given this matchup, there's a good chance that he could get to like 45 DK points at a cheap price tag. So I've kind of been leaning more towards him just simply because of the price tag. At the same time, Andrew Wiggins is expected back tonight as well. What do we do with that? Like, it just makes the Golden State Warriors situation more difficult. So like in single entry type lineup approaches, I'd probably stick away from the Golden State Warriors. But if you are someone that is max entering, you probably want to have at least one Warriors player, probably two in your builds, because there's a strong chance that two of them do go off. And it wouldn't be shocking to see Draymond go for 40 tonight either, especially with all of them active. He's going to get some rebounds. He's going to get some assists. Heck, he could get a double-double tonight in rebounds and assists, and hopefully can score 6 buckets. He has really been playing well, and it is a cheap price tag now. And, you know, I don't really want to play Looney. I think the play would be Green in this scenario. And then looking at the other pieces of this game, you got Josh Giddey. He is someone that I expect to have a really good game, but I do feel like he's kind of priced up. Like, I would say 45 DK points is kind of the ceiling from him, and I don't know if we're going to get that. Okay, so that makes it a little bit more of a difficult play. I do think Jalen Williams has a big game in him. He could go for 40. You know, do we expect it? No. Not at all. But he is someone that we have seen the shot attempts be higher recently. And this is with Dort off the court. Okay, so with Dort off the court, we've seen 12 and 16 shot attempts, which is huge. And he scored 17 and 24 points. The issue with last game against Cleveland, no assists and only 3 rebounds. Okay, he does only average about 4 rebounds and 3 assists and 1 steal. Like, he didn't get any of those secondary stats. And so you would expect him to be able to do that tonight. So he is a play that when you're trying to stack this game, I have been ending up on a decent amount. But once again, maybe not someone we play in cash. And then Aaron Wiggins, you know, if he is going to be getting, you know, around, let's say 28 minutes, he is someone that we might need to consider. And like, as it sits right now, I might put him into a build. And then if we get news that those minutes are not going to be there, then obviously we can adjust. And so from there, let's talk about some other plays I like, because I already mentioned Westbrook and SGA. I think those are going to be strong plays, obviously. If we get news that Joel Embiid sits, then you're looking at James Harden, who has just been on a tear. Could easily go for 50 DK points then. De'Aaron Fox also gets a pretty good game matchup against Minnesota at 8.3, cheap price tag. He just went for 46 DK points against them again. I expect him to go out and have a really solid game against them again tonight. So he is someone that I think we can firmly play and feel confident with. Fred VanVleet has just been on a tear. I don't really get why the price hasn't been corrected just yet, given his recent production. Guys, he had 42 DK points while only scoring 11 real life points. I mean, that is pretty hard to do. He has just been finding ways to make himself valuable. And at this price tag, he does simply seem too cheap still. Okay, so he is someone we can firmly try to play. And so that is kind of the issue with this slate, is that I love SGA as a play tonight. I think he's going to go for 50 plus, but we can get 40 plus most likely from Fred VanVleet, from De'Aaron Fox at significantly cheaper price tags. So that's where the tough part is here. And it does seem like we want to be playing, let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 guards tonight. And I probably will be playing a point guard in my flex spot, in my utility spot. And normally I'm either playing a point guard or a center. Tonight it feels like I'm playing a guard or a point guard. We also have Russell there, who Russell has been on a tear recently as well, at a cheap price tag. And so once again, that is what makes this slate difficult. And he just went for 40 against the Kings last game. And so although I love SGA as a play tonight, it's tough for me not to like Westbrook going for 40, Russell going for 40 at less than 8K. Forwards, I didn't really like that much. Let's talk about the centers. So I do think Porzingis can have a huge game. Sabonis, I think he's priced up a little bit too much right now, especially with Gobert back. I don't want to chase him there. Claxton, I think, is in a great spot. If we can afford to fit Claxton into our builds, I think we try to do that. I think he's going to put up at least 40. But can we get that production elsewhere? I kind of mentioned, I think Draymond Green could really go off and have a solid game. And so I've been kind of chasing him a little bit. Clint Capella gets a pretty phenomenal matchup tonight against Portland. And he has been someone that on the season has been able to take advantage of those easier matchups. And given this price tag, does feel a little bit too cheap considering the matchup. Now, we want to lock in at least 30 minutes, and I don't know if we can do that. Let's see what his minutes are at 28 minutes. So if we knew we were going to get more than that, would definitely be someone we would be considering more. He does make for a strong GPP play. Gafford, I already mentioned, could be a strong GPP play. A lot of people are defaulting to Thomas Bryant. I'm not saying that's wrong. I probably should be prioritizing him a little bit more. Let's check out the minutes on Thomas Bryant. 6 minutes. Okay, so we're not saying he's going to get a lot more minutes than he had been getting. So what do we do with that? That's the difficult part. Like, it is a cheap price tag, is a play that I like a decent amount, but it's tough. It makes it tough, obviously. And so to close out this build, we have 7K left over. Now, I could put Clay in the forward spot, and if I could get up to Jordan Poole, I might have done. But right now, it just sits. I'm not gonna do that. And with that, we kind of end up in kind of a dead price point range, really, at 7K. Now, Gary Trent Jr., I'm fine with. Grant, like, these are all players that could go off. I just don't love them individually. Oh, I didn't realize that. I put Andrew Wiggins in there instead of Aaron Wiggins. All right, that's gonna open up a lot. I did not realize that. All right, we're good now. Whew. Okay, then we can go Porzingis. I feel fine with that. Let's see what we can do here, actually. I'm going to go Green in the forward spot. I want to get Claxton in there. So we probably could make an upgrade from Wiggins. Let's see. Sorry, Denny. Yeah, we'll go ahead. And not a bad build. Not a bad first look build again. You know, it comes together pretty well today. The last few slates, it's kind of felt like the first look build has come together pretty well. So hopefully it'll be a good day. But that's all for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give a like and subscribe. If you guys want access to any of the tools that you saw in this video, make sure to click the links in the description below. As well, we do have the Discord chat available in the links in the description below as well. All right, let's have a good slate, and as always, let's keep cashing.